NIA's former Director of External Security denies participating in torture. South Africa's mining industry worries over increased fatalities in its sector. Gambia to appeal against CAF's decision of disqualifying the under-17 in the WAFU Championship. Well, these and more coming your way on The World Today. Hello, this is Africa TV and you are watching the World Today News Bulletin. I am Amadou Kante. Many thanks for joining us, and now the news in detail, and we begin with matters of the TRRC. Now, the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission continued its public hearings to examine personnel of the defunct National Intelligence Agency who were answering directly to the former President Yahya Jammeh. Now, a former Director of External Security at NIA, Baba Saho, on Wednesday testified before the Truth Commission as an advanced mention for the arrest and unlawful detention of PPP demonstrators in 1995. The CISE has the rest of that story.
According to witnesses who testified before the Third Commission, forced confessions and illegal detentions at the NIA were widespread, and most of the victims were political detainees. Baba Saho, NIA former Director of External Security, has been adversely mentioned for arrest and unlawful detention of PPP demonstrators in 1995, and also for participating in torture in Balokante, Bunjadabo, and Ibrahima Jaite. The witness denied these allegations of taking part in the arrest of PPP demonstrators.
1995.
Well, somebody who knew what was going on, unlike you who did not know what was going on, that person testified. And they explained that when the information was received, the NIA established two teams. An arresting team, which went to the ground and arrested those who were part of this demonstration. Did that happen?
That's that person's opinion. He's aware, so I'm not.
Been in the institution for about 10 years, the witness told the commission the mode of operations of different sections at the NIA.
The functions of the individual units is to make follow-ups that aren't too clear. And the Director General will instruct us, go into this, go into that.
Director General kana yamaro dintella albulanyin noma alinyin don noma sata alikateng.
And as a former number 3 in the investigations department, and a former Director of External Security, this is your answer about the responsibilities of the investigations department?
Yes.
Born on 4th of April 1961, Baba Saho is a native of Fonyi Bondali. He joined the National Intelligence Agency in 1995, where he served as the Director General of External Security at the institution. Mr. Saho is said to be among the most aggressive NIA agents during former President Yahya Jammeh's regime. He is alleged to have arrested dozens of opposition militants during his services at the feared National Intelligence Agency, now known as the State Intelligence Services (SIS). For iAfrica News, I am Daisy.
Witnesses continue to appear before the Truth Commission, and we will bring you more details of his testimony in our subsequent news edition. Next to Tunisia now, because the Tunisian National Assembly are supporting the Defense Ministry's initiative to strengthen security at the country's border with Libya. Libya has been engulfed in civil conflict between the central government and different armed groups since the ousting of the former leader Mohamed Gaddafi. The North African country now lauded the government's move to protect the country. Here are more details of that in this report.
Tunisian Defense Minister Brahim Bartaji says the country's security forces are on the alert in case they are required to intervene militarily along the 459-kilometer southeastern border with Libya.
The Tunisian National Army is ready to defend the homeland and to face any threat from the eastern border with Libya. Parliament supports the Defense Ministry in its plan to improve the logistical and human needs of the military, will deter terror threats and stop any smuggling and organized crimes on the border with Libya.
The minister says Tunisia's security will improve when the turmoil and political unrest in Libya ends.
We are vigilant, but we expect the situation in Libya to improve following the successful political dialogue. The security situation will also improve gradually in Libya. This will have a positive impact on Tunisia's security.
Members of the Security and Defense Commission at the Tunisian Parliament have welcomed the peaceful resolution of the Libyan conflict. The MPs took note of the important role that Tunisia's army plays in protecting the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
We are happy about the positive outcome in Libya. The Tunisian military has reinforced its presence on the border. The defense capabilities have been reinforced, like the border fence, the permanent and active military units, as well as the electronic monitoring system with detectors and cameras. This system will prevent the illegal crossing by terror cells. The air and sea surveys have also been boosted.
Tunisian Prime Minister Hisham Meshishi has congratulated his Libyan counterpart Abdelhamid Dbeibeh on his election as Prime Minister. Meshishi said Dbeibeh will face the challenge of stabilizing his country devastated by 10 years of war.
Tunisian President Kais Saied has welcomed the election of the Presidency Council of Libya, describing the event as historic. The head of state reaffirmed that the inter-Libyan dialogue is the only way to reach a lasting solution to the crisis in this brotherly country.
And from the report there in Tunisia, we come back home and report on the election matters, because ahead of the upcoming presidential elections in December 2021, the Gambia's Independent Electoral Commission supply of election materials by the bidding contract is still at halt. Now, following last month's tendering process, which was awarded to a Canadian company, the IEC said the budget allocated is not sufficient and it needs more adjustment. However, the Minister of Finance, Mamburin Jai, on Tuesday accused that local companies should be given preferences in awarding contract of the vote registration process. Let's have more of that in this insight by the Finance Minister.
Every 5 years we have elections. Whatever we are requesting, are they telling me that the Gambian companies cannot do it? Even if a Gambian company cannot do it, a Gambian company can partner with an international company and build capacity. That's my whole, and it hurts. This is taxpayers' money. Gambians are paying their taxes. And if anytime we take the money, we ship it outside, those companies coming, they are commercial. They will never hand over that technology to our own guys. So how do we build capacity? So I am insisting that really we go further to, in fact, legislate the local content. We are going further, but we have to have a test case, and that I said we will not compromise quality. Our preference is Gambian companies. If Gambian companies cannot do it, they can partner with international company, and we will insist on the technology and knowledge transfer to the local company. This is the only way we'll boost our own companies to make sure they'll be able to compete internationally. Anytime we open up,
Gambia's Finance Minister Mamburin Jai speaking there, and next to South Africa now, because South Africa's mining industry has expressed concern over the rapid increase of deaths during mining exercises in the country. Mining fatalities increased to 18% in 2020, leaving authorities worried of the situation. Let's have more details of that in this report.
One of the main causes of these mine fatalities was so-called fall of ground incidents.
While the issue of seismicity, which has been troubling us for a number of years, we seem to have contained that. We've done well to our critical control management processes, but we've seen last year fall of ground has given us a challenge.
The mining industry is very concerned about the increase in fatalities.
We are busy with an analysis trying to understand whether even the COVID-19 itself, the pandemic itself, whether it has had any impact on this regression. It's still early to say about that, particularly when it comes to the issues of state of mindfulness while the miners are at the workplace.
Transport-related accidents remain one of the major contributors to mine deaths. The sector is trying to find solutions.
There's a big project being driven by the Minerals Council and its members focusing on collision avoidance systems, where we are installing technologies that will retard the speed of these mobile equipments or mobile machinery, or what we call trackless mobile machineries in our mining workplaces.
When there's a fatality on a mine, the law stipulates that the shaft or entire mine where the accident occurred must be closed. Mine fatalities have been a part of the South African mining environment for many years now, and it's unlikely to change anytime soon. And that has to do with the depth of those mines and the complex geology.
South African authorities worried over the increase of mining workers' fatalities there in the country. And from that report there, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the stories. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put into constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
Welcome back, and you're watching the World Today News Bulletin on Africa TV. And now to the rest of the stories. Now, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has renewed his government's commitment in restoring the 2015 Iran nuclear deal after the initial talks failed to proceed with their partners. The Iran nuclear agreement, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, is a deal reached between Iran and several world powers, including the United States, in July 2015 to dismantle much of its nuclear program and open its facilities to more extensive international inspections in exchange for billions of dollars worth of sanctions relief. However, the deal has been in jeopardy since the U.S. former President Donald Trump withdrew the United States from it in 2018. Now, speaking at the foreign diplomats meeting in the capital on Tuesday, President Rouhani says there is no reason for doubting who should start the process. Let's take a listen to him in this insert.
The Islamic Republic of Iran is announcing with a clear voice, if the 5+1 fulfill their obligations, Iran will meet its obligations with no hesitation. Whatever hour that the 5+1 commits to and act on all its commitments of this agreement, meaning the JCPOA, they should know that we will fulfill all our commitments in the next hour. But fulfilling our obligations happens when it is clear that the other 6 countries fulfill their commitments. I believe there is no place for doubt about who should start this path and take a step forward. We have not withdrawn from our commitments to take the first step.
اقدامی تا امروز انجام نداده است.
Hassan Rouhani, the Iran's president, speaking there. Now we come back home because President Barrow has renewed his government's commitment in combating climate change affecting the Gambia's agricultural sector. The Gambian leader made the remark at the launch of the project of resilience of organizations in transforming smallholder agriculture initiatives. Maria Macham has more details of that in this report.
Agriculture is said to be the backbone of a nation's growth, and the Gambia is not an exception. Despite the many challenges the Gambia's agricultural sector is slammed with, the West African nation's gross domestic product is significantly steered by the industry. Recently, the country has been hit by the impact of climate change, dilapidating the sector's performance. However, President Barrow reassures his government's commitment in boosting the sector.
The Gambia is among the countries that are most vulnerable to the effects of climate change. In recognition of this, the government is fully committed to supporting and promoting initiatives for climate change adaptation and resilience. Furthermore, we appreciate the importance and potential of sustainable agricultural value chain development in fostering growth within the agriculture sector.
Not only climate change is a major challenge in the agricultural sector, but also poor infrastructure, soil fertility depletion, declining agricultural commodity prices, soaring prices of production inputs, and low private investment. President Barrow assures that all these challenges will be tackled as aligned in the National Development Plan.
We will continue to prioritize and invest in agricultural land and infrastructure development, agricultural machinery, post-harvest and processing equipment, storage facilities, and related value addition and market access initiative across the country. This is highly relevant to our development strategy as contained in the National Development Plan 2018-2021.
In 2019, the share of agriculture in the Gambia's gross domestic product was 16.79%. This shows how the Gambia's economy thrives on agriculture, which has key implications for poverty reduction and food security. Agricultural production in the Gambia is largely dependent on rain-fed subsistence farming, which is inhibited by numerous climate factors including rainfall variability, increased temperatures, and sea level rise. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Mariama Cham.
Finally, let's do some sports news now because the Confederation African Football CAF has disqualified the Gambia from the ongoing WAFU Under-17 Championship in Senegal. The suspension came after some players in the Gambian team failed to pass the magnetic resonance imaging test conducted by CAF's medical personnel ahead of the championship. Maria Macham again has more details of that in this report.
The Gambia Football Federation says it will appeal against the CAF's decision of disqualifying the Baby Scorpions from the ongoing WAFU Under-17 Championship in Senegal. The Confederation of African Football, in a statement through the WAFU Executive Director, says the Gambia's Under-17 team has been disqualified from the championship because some of the players failed the MRI test. However, the GFF officials stated that all the players taking part in the competition passed the MRI test, which was conducted by CAF medical personnel ahead of the competitions in Senegal. In a social media post, the GFF says the letter sent to them from CAF did not specifically mention the number of players found wanting and their names. The Federation has since filed for an appeal against the CAF's decision, and the public will be duly informed of the outcome, the statement added. The Gambia Under-17 defeated Mauritania 2-0 after losing 4-2 to host Senegal in their match of the competition. The Continental Football CAF body had banned the Gambia before for filing over 8 players in junior competitions. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Mariama Cham.
And a report there by Mariama Cham on the Gambia's disqualification from the ongoing CAF Under-17 Championship in Senegal finally bring this news bulletin to an end. But for more details on this and other stories, as always, you can visit on our website on iafrica.tv. And Maria Macham herself would be here at 19:30 GMT or 7:30 local time for the Gambia 24 news bulletin. But for now though, many thanks for the pleasure of your company. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and bye for now.